Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh, exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. The rumor that has been echoing through clubhouses, podcasts, and late-night sports radio is the kind that makes fans sit up a little straighter because it sounds almost too big to ignore and yet too tantalizing to dismiss. Word circulating around the league suggests that ZAC Gallen is being viewed inside Dodger circles as the new ace, the kind of arm that doesn't just fill a rotation spot, but reshapes expectations entirely. This is not being framed as an official announcement, not even close, but more like one of those whispers that keeps getting louder the more people repeat it. The Dodgers, an organization known for thinking several moves ahead, are rumored to be infatuated with the idea of Gallen at the front of everything, setting a tone of dominance, calm, and inevitability. When insiders talk about this scenario, they don't do it with cautious language. They speak with excitement, with that storyteller voice that suggests something seismic could be forming beneath the surface. Gallen is described as the type of pitcher who walks onto the mound and instantly changes the emotional temperature of a series. The kind of presence that makes opposing lineups rethink their approach before the first pitch is even thrown. The speculation paints him as more than a talented arm, framing him as a symbol of stability and competitive fire, exactly the profile the Dodgers love to elevate. Even without confirmation, the mere idea has fans debating rotations, playoff matchups, and long-term legacies, because the thought of Gallen wearing Dodger blue feels like a storyline destined to dominate conversations. What really fuels this rumor is the narrative that Gallen's pitching style aligns almost perfectly with what the Dodgers value most at the top of a rotation. According to chatter making the rounds, the front office sees him as a craftsman, someone who blends power with intelligence, aggression with restraint. This is not just about velocity or strikeout totals, but about command, sequencing, and the ability to read hitters like a chessboard. People close to the situation keep emphasizing that the Dodgers admire pitchers who can adapt mid-game, who don't panic when something isn't working, and who can still find a way to control the rhythm of an inning. Gallen's name keeps coming up in that context, almost as if he is being used as the prototype in internal discussions. The rumor mill suggests that coaches envision him thriving under their analytical infrastructure, refining his approach even further while maintaining the competitive edge that already defines him. There's also talk that his demeanor, calm but intense, fits perfectly with the kind of leadership expected from an ace in Los Angeles. This isn't about flashy quotes or dramatic gestures, but about quiet authority, the kind that spreads confidence through the dugout. As these stories circulate, fans begin to imagine how his starts would feel, how each outing could become a statement that the Dodgers are not just chasing wins, but asserting control over the league's narrative. Another layer to this speculation revolves around timing, and how everything seems to line up in a way that feels almost scripted. The Dodgers are constantly portrayed as an organization that refuses to stand still, always evaluating where they can upgrade, refine, or future-proof their roster. The idea of Gallen stepping into an ace role fits that storyline perfectly. Rumors suggest that decision-makers see him as someone who could bridge eras, anchoring the rotation through transitions while maintaining elite performance. This is not about a short-term spark, but about sustainability, about ensuring that the Dodgers remain a pitching powerhouse year after year. The chatter hints that internal conversations frame Gallen as a pitcher who could handle the pressure cooker of Los Angeles without losing his edge, someone who could embrace the spotlight rather than shrink from it. That belief alone carries weight because not every talented pitcher is cut out for that environment. As these whispers spread, fans start connecting dots, imagining how Gallen's mentality and skill set would translate to packed stadiums, relentless media attention, and postseason intensity. The rumor doesn't promise anything concrete, but paints a picture vivid enough that people can't help but buy into it. It feels like one of those speculative stories that refuses to die because it makes too much sense emotionally and strategically. There's also a fascinating undercurrent in these rumors that speaks to identity, both for Gallen and for the Dodgers themselves. Insiders speculate that Los Angeles sees him not just as a pitcher, but as a statement of philosophy. The Dodgers have long prided themselves on blending traditional baseball instincts with modern analysis, and Gallen is often described as someone who naturally lives at that intersection. Stories circulate about his preparation habits, his attention to detail, and his ability to make subtle adjustments that don't always show up in highlights but win games quietly. This aligns perfectly with the Dodgers' internal culture, or at least the version of it fans and analysts believe exists. The speculation suggests that coaches imagine Gallen thriving in an environment where information flows freely, where game plans are collaborative, and where pitchers are empowered to think. That vision is intoxicating for a fan base that loves the idea of intellectual dominance as much as raw power. As these ideas bounce around social media and sports talk shows, the rumor grows legs, evolving from a simple whisper into a full-blown narrative about destiny, fit, and mutual ambition. Even skeptics find themselves intrigued because the story feels less like fantasy and more like a logical progression of where both sides could be headed. What makes the rumor even more compelling is how it taps into the emotional needs of the fan base. Dodgers fans are accustomed to excellence, but they're also deeply aware of how fragile pitching depth can be. The idea of an undisputed ace brings comfort, reassurance, and a sense of order. According to speculation, Gallen is being framed internally as that calming force, the pitcher you hand the ball to when everything feels chaotic. People talking about this scenario describe him as someone who doesn't just dominate physically, but mentally, controlling pace and pressure in ways that ripple through a series. That kind of presence is priceless in October, and even though no one is allowed to say it out loud, the rumors clearly lean into postseason imagery. Fans imagine playoff rotations, tense moments, and Gallen standing on the mound with that focused expression, unfazed by the noise. This emotional resonance is a big reason the rumor sticks. It offers a story fans want to believe, one where the Dodgers continue to position themselves as inevitable contenders by identifying and elevating the right ace at the right time. Whether or not it becomes reality almost feels secondary to how powerful the narrative already is. As the speculation continues to swirl, it becomes clear that this rumor is about more than just one player and one team. It represents the ongoing obsession with control, dominance, and legacy that defines modern baseball discourse. Gallen being labeled as the new ace of the Dodgers is not presented as a transactional move, but as a symbolic shift, a reassertion of identity. The whispers suggest that if this ever materializes, it would be framed as a natural evolution rather than a surprise, the culmination of scouting, analysis, and ambition aligning perfectly. Even now, without confirmation, the story has taken on a life of its own, living in fan debates, comment sections, and late-night speculation videos. It's the kind of rumor that feels alive, constantly reshaped by imagination and hope. And as long as people keep talking about ZAC Gallen as the Dodgers' future ace, the idea will continue to grow, feeding the belief that something big is always just around the corner in Los Angeles. As the rumor stretches into deeper conversations, another angle begins to dominate the speculation, focusing on how ZAC Gallen would psychologically redefine the Dodgers' pitching hierarchy. The chatter suggests that his arrival as an ace would not be about ego or hierarchy battles, but about clarity. Insiders love to frame him as the pitcher who naturally assumes responsibility, not because he demands it, but because everyone else instinctively defers. That kind of leadership is rare, and according to the rumor mill, it is exactly what the Dodgers crave at the top. People close to the organization allegedly believe that Gallen's presence would simplify decision-making, reduce uncertainty, and create a clear reference point for the rest of the staff. The story being told is that younger pitchers would look to him as a model of consistency and preparation, while veterans would respect his work ethic and competitive edge. This isn't portrayed as a flashy takeover, but as a steady gravitational pull, drawing the rotation into alignment. Fans eating up this speculation start to imagine how each series would feel more structured, more predictable in the best possible way, with Gallen setting the tone and everyone else falling into rhythm behind him. It's a comforting vision, and comfort is powerful fuel for rumors. Another strand of this speculative narrative explores how Gallen's supposed role as the Dodgers' ace would influence the broader league. According to whispers, rival teams already view Los Angeles as a strategic powerhouse, and adding Gallen to that image would only intensify the psychological chess match. The rumor suggests that opposing managers would have to plan entire series around avoiding his starts or minimizing damage, which in turn reshapes matchups and bullpen usage. This kind of ripple effect is what separates good pitchers from true aces in the collective imagination. People talking about this scenario emphasize that Gallen isn't just someone who wins games, but someone who forces opponents to adjust their entire approach. That's the definition of ace status in the modern era, and the Dodgers are rumored to be obsessed with that concept. Fans latch onto this idea, imagining rival fan bases groaning when they see his name penciled in, imagining national broadcasts framing his starts as events rather than routine games. Even without official confirmation, this hypothetical impact adds weight to the rumor, making it feel less like idle talk and more like a credible projection of how power dynamics could shift. There is also speculation about how the Dodgers' development machine would interact with Gallen's existing skill set, and this is where the rumor becomes almost cinematic. The narrative suggests a perfect storm of talent meeting infrastructure, of a pitcher already operating at a high level being refined even further. People whisper about subtle tweaks, marginal gains, and strategic insights that could elevate Gallen from excellent to generational within this environment. This isn't framed as a criticism of his current abilities, but as an acknowledgement that the Dodgers love optimizing even the best. Fans who buy into this rumor imagine pitch sequencing becoming sharper, in-game adjustments becoming more ruthless, and preparation reaching an almost surgical level. The story paints a picture of Gallen embracing this challenge, leaning into the data without losing his instincts, and emerging as the definitive symbol of modern pitching excellence. It's the kind of narrative that appeals to both traditionalists and analytics-driven fans, bridging a divide that often defines baseball debates. As this version of the rumor spreads, it gains legitimacy simply by appealing to so many different perspectives. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. Emotionally, the speculation also taps into the idea of unfinished business and ambition. According to the whispers, Gallen is viewed as someone still climbing, still hungry, still chasing the highest tier of recognition. The Dodgers, in this rumor, are positioned as the perfect stage for that ascent. People talking about this scenario describe a mutual benefit, a shared hunger that could amplify results. The narrative suggests that Los Angeles offers the spotlight, the expectations, and the resources that can transform a great pitcher into a universally acknowledged ace. Fans respond strongly to this storyline because it frames success as earned rather than gifted. It's not about coasting on reputation, but about embracing pressure and turning it into performance. Even skeptics find something compelling in this angle because it aligns with how sports legends are often made. The rumor doesn't guarantee triumph, but it promises opportunity, and that promise is enough to keep the conversation alive. As discussions continue, another speculative thread emerges around legacy and storytelling. People love to imagine how history would remember a move like this, how future highlight reels and documentaries would frame the moment Gallen became the Dodgers' ace. The rumor paints it as a defining chapter, one that would be revisited whenever people talk about dominant rotations or organizational foresight. Fans lean into this idea, imagining years down the line when this moment is referenced as obvious in hindsight, even if it feels uncertain now. That sense of inevitability is a powerful narrative tool, and it's doing a lot of work in keeping this speculation afloat. The story suggests that if the Dodgers are always thinking about how they will be remembered, then identifying and elevating the right ace is a crucial part of that mission. Gallen's name fits neatly into that imagined future, making the rumor feel less like a gamble and more like destiny unfolding. In the end, the most striking thing about this rumor is how vividly it lives in the imagination, regardless of its factual status. ZAC Gallen being labeled as the new ace of the Dodgers has become a story people want to tell and retell, because it encapsulates ambition, strategy, and the eternal chase for dominance. It's a speculation that thrives on logic and emotion in equal measure, blending on-field performance with off-field mythology. Whether it ever moves beyond rumor is almost beside the point, because right now it serves as a mirror reflecting what fans believe the Dodgers are always trying to become. As long as that belief exists, this story will keep circulating, evolving, and captivating, proving once again that in sports, sometimes the most powerful narratives are born not from confirmed facts, but from the collective imagination daring to dream. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.